All right, we're back. Let's get going. Continuing what we were working on. So I was working on this in-game story letter thing, and made pretty good progress on it yesterday. Got an animation, got the basic text setup working, and today that means I need to drink some tea first, apparently. But I'm going to start with one little visual touch I'd like to add, which is like a little wax seal on the letter. So I'm going to go here and look at our letter. And there we go. And we're going to add just a little piece on here that's going to become our little wax seal. I think I'm going to do most of this with just a normal map, just to keep it simple. So we're going to go to the envelope, and essentially we're going to add a circle to it, which probably needs, why not 32 verts? That's cool. Where is this circle right now? It's way up here. Okay, fill it with a triangle, and kind of just vaguely size it first here. Okay, there it is. Let's make this -90, get the verts pointing in the right direction. Okay. Oh, that's not where I want to move it. I don't know why I'm using this little window down here that you can't see behind my head to... Can I move that thing? Doesn't look like it. To do all this, but I could just actually now pop in and just do this manually. Okay, so this is going to be the wax seal. Should be hanging out sort of like halfway over the edge, right? Like that. Oh, now see, I have this modifier turned on the envelope over here, this one. But we can set it to affect different vertex groups, although I don't want to use that because I'm using vertex groups for skinning. So probably what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate this out as a separate object. This object will not have this. Okay. Now, just get this sort of close. Yeah. I mean, I could model in some of the sort of profile of this, but I don't think I need to. I think I'm going to use... Cool. I'm going to use just a simple normal map to do that. So... maybe we actually do want this to be part of this. We'll let that thickness exist. I think that's okay. Yeah, maybe what we'll do is go back like this and do inset face once, like that, and just give it a little profile like that. Okay, cool. I'm going to want this to have a different material, though. So the way I can do that is I can go here to materials. I'm going to select everything except that. In Blender here, I'm going to make a new material. We'll call this letter. It doesn't really matter what it is. Assign something to it. Assign all these verts to it. And then select the inverse. Now make a new material called wax. and assign this to it. Just so that you can see that difference, I'll mark it as red in the actually, where does that show up? I thought there was a viewport display color red. Okay, so you can see that it's sort of like two different materials assigned there. Okay, now when we save this, come back to Unity, and let's look at our story letter prefab. Okay, getting somewhere. Okay, so I didn't assign a vertex group, so if I go down here to the envelope flap, for example, and I rotate this, the wax isn't coming with it. So let's go back here. What was the name of it? Oh, right there. Envelope flap. So we need to select all these verts, go here and assign them to the envelope flap vertex group. Now come back. That should pop into place. There we go. Okay. And you'll see that now the envelope's skin mesh render has two materials on it. One for the story letter and now one for the wax. We need to make this new wax material. And, you know, just to be fun, we're going to make a... we're going to make a little Wallaber insignia thing. So I'm going to grab this, copy my main sort of logo shape, paste that in here. We're going to make this into like a grayscale, essentially height map. So if this was a piece of wax, the logo would be the deepest pressed in, right? So we're going to scale this down maybe about that big. Let's look at it bigger. Okay, so we put this in the center, and this should be dark, right? So this is like low height, and then we want a little like fall off outside of it, like it was pressed down in. How am I going to do that? We want like an outer glow that is white, and we want the contour to look like this, so it kind of shoots up quickly, I think. Or maybe we want, let's think about that. This might not look right. Now meanwhile, let's go here, let's make the main background sort of a mid-range gray. Actually maybe a little brighter. Okay. So then this outer glow, we want it to glow up to this color. From this color though, so really this isn't what we want. Right, we want to start from this color, and we want to end at this color with full opacity. Okay. Let's look at this big to see. Give it some more spread. And size this down. Not really seeing that. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Okay, and then actually we'll make this straight, because in here what we can do is we can bias this a little bit. Like take what would be the normal midpoint here, which should be, let's see, what is this? This is roughly 48. You can't see what I'm doing right now, can you? I'm making gradient. This is 174. So this, let's go, what is, so that should be about 100. Okay. And then we're going to bias it like that, so it's kind of sharper. Okay. Now, yeah, we make that sort of press down in. Okay. And then what we want is, and this is going to be too big actually. This needs to fit inside a circle. And then around the edges, we want like a little lip of wax, right? Which, in order to get that, let's try a gradient. Like this. We want the gradient to be from this color to that color, but in the middle be brighter and kind of a spherical-ish fall off. Okay. Now how do I make this into a circle? I think what I do is I push this out like this. Probably even tighter. Can't see what I'm doing right now. I'm making an awesome gradient. So awesome. Okay, and then we're going to do a circular gradient from the center of the image. Wow, what settings do I have my grid? Where is that in this edit? Preferences, grid. We want one every 32 pixels. Okay. Okay, that's the idea. I want this centered though, please. Like this. Ooh, guess I gotta go a little farther. Okay. Okay. Let's give this a try. So we're gonna save this into our game folder. Really should set up some shortcuts for myself so I don't have to navigate through all these folders all the time. This is going in the textures folder. Okay. And this is going to be story, letter, wax, height. Alright, let's see if this worked. So now, back in Unity, we're going to make a material here. We already have one for a letter, right? I think it's called story letter. Yep. So now we're going to make one called story letter wax. We're going to switch this back to the standard shader. It's going to be some kind of deep red or something. And let's go to our textures here and find that, okay, story letter wax height. So we're going to mark this as a normal map, create from grayscale. Okay, that looks like close. This needs to be smoother. And we may want to calm down on just how embossed that is. I'm going to have to adjust that a little bit. Looks like my edge of wax like ring needs to be smoothed quite a bit. Okay, but now if we go to story letter wax, boom, we're going to mark this as our normal map here. Let's look at this on a plane. Okay. Now this should be quite smooth, right? Shiny wax. Hey, we're getting somewhere. It's pretty cool. Okay. Let's see what it looks like. Hang on, I'm gonna try maybe making this a little bit brighter red. Somewhere in there. Height map. I wonder if we want to use this. No, we can't use this for that. Can we? Because it's been processed as a normal map now. Okay, let's not worry about that for now. Okay, let's get this on here. The envelope now should get the wax material. Ooh, look at that. That looks pretty cool. It's turned wrong. This is what it's going to look like. Right? Like it needs to be rotated. That's in the UVs though. I'll fix that. So we've got this like... Go back here. So there's this like... this hard edge here. It's coming from my glow. I think it's because I don't have this opacity at 100. Okay. I wish I could make this spread farther and still match up. Like if I spread this out really far, like this, maybe I don't want to spread it out that far. Okay, that looks weird. So I guess that means really don't want much spread here. I want kind of a sharper, like what does that do? Okay, so now the main thing is that maybe this thing is like too deep. Okay. So we could go back to here. We could change it so it's not quite as deep. It's more like here. What color is this? 89, 89, 89. So now my outer glow needs to start from 89, 89, 89. Okay, okay, okay. Save. That's a little better. I want to keep a little more definition in the logo. So I go like this. Yeah, cool. And then what I want to do, I want to go back to my gradient for the ring on the outside. It was looking pretty good, but I want like way more spread on the inside of this. You can't see this gradient I'm changing right now. Let's try this. Okay, let's try that. How does that look? Yeah, that looks pretty good. Still a little weird. Maybe I tone this down a little bit. Oh, weird. Look at that, like weird aliasing there. is that? Alright, maybe we'll live with this. This looks pretty nice. Okay, so back to Blender. Let's fix these UVs. Here. These are off by 90. I don't know which way, so we just try stuff, right? Hey! First try. Okay. Cool. Okay, the underside looks a little weird. I wonder if I should quickly deal with that or not. Let's see. Best way to do that would be to apply the thickness modifier. So maybe that will be a last step. We'll see. Okay. Now what we want to do, I think, is we want to try hooking this up into Flow. So this is going to be on the level set select screen, aka the map screen. Let's go have a look at how the script works. Map screen entry. Okay. And this is where we go through and figure out the total number of medals available in the game and how many you've earned. Okay. And let's see. Okay, so I think right now, so I'm thinking is I want a couple different scenarios where we're going to show a letter. I know one for sure, so let's just do that first, which is going to be, let's just put story letter prefab intro. So this is going to be the prefab for the intro to the game. And we really only want to show this to you the first time. Means there's no way to get back to it, but that's okay. This is not something you need to revisit. Hopefully you won't just click through it, but hey, that's okay. So this one can be simple, where we just keep track of if we've shown you the intro or not. All right. So we'll go down here once we're into this screen. Do a story letter question mark. Okay. And I believe I have in player save. This is where I keep track of the player's save data, like their avatar, what levels they've completed, etc. So this would be the place to track this. Yeah, so we're going to add in, let's go look at this. Yeah, see I have here, like, have they completed a given level? How many times have they completed a given level? Marking a level as complete, marking the chalk essentially as collected in the level, getting info about a level like your best time, your score, etc. And we serialize and deserialize all this, including the avatar stuff. Where is that though? Yeah, where's the avatar? Maybe I added it later, so it's down here somewhere. No? Oh, okay. It's just a disgusting public string. Why not? Okay. Yeah, so we have like the player name, race, avatar data. So we'll add in a has seen intro letter, which defaults to false. We need a thing up here. This is the key for serialization. Okay. Cool. So we can use this to track this. And, although, yeah, okay, that's fine. So now we need to save this. So when we serialize things here, like right here, intro letter flag, add into the dictionary like that. And then also down here, deserialize it. So if the root data contains the key of has seen intro letter, then has seen intro letter equals Boolean root data s has seen intro letter. Okay. Does that work? Root data is a string to object. Oh, wrong thing over here. Ah, okay. Ret.has seen intro letter. Okay. Alright, now in theory we're going to be saving that. So now we can go back here and say if we're already looking through the player save here, I would assume. Yeah. Okay. So if not, player save.current.has seen intro letter, show the intro letter. So we're going to make a quick coroutine, I think, for showing the letter. No, we don't even need to be a coroutine, but we're going to have a simple function as part of this called show letter. You pass it the actual prefab you want to show, which in this case is going to be the prefab for the intro letter. Okay. And then there would be other ones I'm going to add here to show you other letters, like when you make progress and stuff, which I'm going to have to work out how to do that. So we'll work on that in a second. I think I need some more save data to do that properly. But anyway, let's get this working with just the intro. So show letter. Let's go down here and just plop this down at the bottom of this. Okay, private void show letter, and then we have a story letter prefab. Okay. This menu is going to need a reference to a transform, which is the story letter handle, like where you put it. Okay, so now down here we can letter instance equals instantiate the story letter from the prefab. Okay, and then we're going to set its position and rotation to the story letter handle dot position and story letter handle dot rotation. Okay. So that's going to get that into the scene. Now what we need to do, let's go look at story letter. So right now, story letter has a dismiss function. I think we're going to let this story letter kind of dismiss itself. So what we'll do is there'll be a function on this called show. What this thing's going to do is it's going to set the input owner to itself. Input owner is just a script I created to keep track of who currently should be responding to things like gamepad input stuff. And so what we can do here is, let's see, let me think, where do I have another example of this? Well, let's just do this. Blah, 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 blah. Here we go. Or is there like someone else that just... This is pretty much exactly what we want. This is, we're going to give the story letter needs to be using rewired, which is the input asset I'm using. And here we need a player for input. This is a player is a concept in rewired that's like a human player who has some kind of mapped input device. And what we're going to do is on show, we mark ourselves as the input owner. We ask rewired to find us player 0. And then we're going to find the ID of the submit button, which is going to be like the OK button, either on the keyboard or on the gamepad. Okay, and then this, we're going to want to expose a callback. So system.action on done. Okay. Then what we can do, we're going to want to track if we're showing or not. Default that to false, and then in show we say mShowing equals true, so that in update we can say if we're showing, and then we can just do if input player get button up, input submit, we're done, dismiss. And so then we will call dismiss, which will play the dismiss animation. We want to stop looking for input at that point. As if you were to like press it and then while it's dismissing you could press this button again, it would basically restart the dismiss animation, which we don't want. So in dismiss, I guess we'll do mShowing equals false. Okay, and then once the dismiss animation is actually complete, we'll hide ourselves. We're also going to go here and go we're going to go input owner pop ourselves. And then we're going to call our callback. So if onDone does not equal null, onDone. Call that function. Okay. So now the story letter can kind of handle itself a little better. And now we go back to here. We can say letter instance dot show. And before that, we want to say letter instance dot onDone equals, or plus equals, I think. Equals. Letter dismissed. And let's actually have this action pass a reference to itself. Okay. So that here I can have private void letter dismissed, which will take a story letter. And here we can actually just destroy it. Okay. Did I misspell? 3 T's in letter. There we go. What's the deal? Don't put the parentheses. Okay. Okay. Okay, now, when we show that letter, which is going to be back up here, right here, we're going to mark it as shown. So we do playersave.current.hasSeen intro letter equals true, and then playersave.current.serialize. Okay. Let's go hook up all these references and see if this is going to work. So the level set select. This is my map screen. Oh, we got a compiler error. Where is it? Oh, right. Okay. That should compile. There we go. And okay, so now I had added here into the tent somewhere the letter handle. Here it is. So that goes here. Then our story letter that's sitting here in the scene, we're going to get rid of that. We're going to tell this screen about the prefab. Oh, now, so let's go here. And we're going to make a variant of this, right? Yes. So we're going to bring this into the scene temporarily. Story letter intro. And then we pop it back here and say it's a prefab variant. So now we can go into here and we can start setting up quickly. Well, for now, let's just put in different text here. So this is the intro variant text. Okay. Now let's go back here and set that prefab as our story letter. Okay. Okay, so we run this. We come in here. We go to any player for now. We come to this screen. And I don't see a story letter happening here. Oh wait, it was there. It auto dismissed. Why did it do that? Okay, hang on. So let's grab. I'm gonna run out of players who don't have this setting. Okay, look at that. So we have a story letter. It's. Oh, okay. Right, okay. But already dismissing it. Because. So what's happening here is. Because I set this to react to on get button up. You press the button down, we start going into the screen, we create the prefab of the letter, we set it as the input owner, and then you release that initial press, and it's saying that's the dismiss. So let's change this to get button down. I had put it on get button up because I was thinking I want it to be that, you press and let go and then it finally dismisses, but let's just do it on down. Let's make sure this is working. And if I really want to do that, I'll have to add a little more code. Okay. Now, I wonder, can I go in and change my save data here so I can keep testing this without having to make a new character every time? I think so. What is this? Okay, cool. So I'm just going in here real quick and I'm just manually editing my save data for some of my characters here. At least I think I am. I don't see the intro flag here. Are these all? No, there's only these two. Okay. So I set scene intro letter to false on two of these, I think. Let's find out. Okay. We come into the game. Okay, that one isn't working. That one isn't working. This one is working. Look at that. Letter popped up. Okay. That was this player. So if I go back, yeah. Oh, I need to hit. Ooh, wait, that's interesting. So right here, input owner should now be the letter. If I press submit. Okay, so the menus were still responding to input there. I gotta think if I remember if I have a way to disable that or not. Okay, let's undo our flags on these characters so we can test this some more. Cool. Okay. 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 Okay, so do I have a scenario? Like I want this, let's look at it again. But I think I have a problem now, which is, first of all, the letter isn't placed very well. Alright, you come in here, you get it. The animation is happening too soon. And I can still navigate this menu in the background, see? That's no good. I gotta think how I solve that. And even like pressing back here, see, works. Which it shouldn't. Let me go trace down how that actually works, because like if you look at level set select, right? I have an on back pressed, right? And how does this happen? M active menu. So in update on my menu manager, we say, do we have an active menu? If so, get the cancel button. And then this is just gonna be other functions like calling themselves and calling the back pressed junk. Okay. Okay, so menu manager, M active menu. So now this guy knows about menus, obviously. And in show menu, it just shows and hides menus. Okay. So I mean, obviously I could simplify this by saying if input owner is owner, because we set the input owner, I would imagine, somewhere else here. Maybe not. No, really? Let's see. Input owner is owner. Lots of people use this. But mostly in the game. Not really using it in this menu system. Right. Okay. Yeah. So I don't really want to do that. In fact, story letter using input owner is kind of the wrong idea, because this is really for in-game stuff. The way I'm handling it out here in the menu scene is through the UI system and buttons. So actually, that's how I should probably be handling this. Okay, so I think the right way to do this is we're going to change this so that reading a letter is actually a screen. Yeah. Story letter. And so then what that means is that we're going to need to make a kind of like dummy screen for this. Okay. That's fine. That might simplify things a little bit, actually. So what that will mean is, yes, so what that's going to mean is, when we want to show a letter, what will actually happen down here is rather than instantiating it here, we would be doing menu manager instance show menu. Oops, menu manager dot instance dot show menu. Story letter with don't hide anything semantic, right? Doesn't really matter in this case. Yeah, I'll have to think about that. So this for now. And then there's a payload. Which is going to have this prefab in it. Story letter screen dot like, you know, s payload prefab, and then pass in the prefab. Cool. Something like that. That's not going to compile yet, because we need to make a screen. So let's go here to scripts, UI. We're going to add story letter screen. Okay. And this is going to inherit from base menu, just like my other screens do. Let's look at a simple one. That one's maybe a little too simple. What do we got here? We got public override void show. Public override void hide. What else we got? On did show. On did hide. On back pressed, which we're going to want. Okay. So now this is going to be like this new concept of a screen here. So this one is going to have the letter handle. Okay. And we also need, what's an example of one of these. Okay. So this thing has a payload option of, or a kind of required payload, which is the prefab. Letter prefab. Okay. Okay. And then we go if not payload, or actually, yeah, if payload equals null, or not payload dot contains s payload letter prefab, login error. And get out. Okay, so then what we can do here is we can go story letter, prefab equals like that. Or I guess we'll do an as. Okay, if prefab does not equal null. Why is this not syntax highlighting properly? Because I'm missing a... Okay. Okay. And we're gonna instantiate... we're gonna need a reference down here, private story letter, letter instance. Okay. Letter instance equals instantiate a story letter from the prefab, please, and then it's... Ooh, actually, I'll move this in a second. Set position and rotation to the handle dot position. Come on. Letter handle dot position, letter handle dot rotation. Okay. But we don't want to instantiate it right on show. Well, maybe we do. We may need a slight delay. But we'll clean that up later. Okay. And then this is going to call letter instance dot show. Well, now actually story letter can probably be dumber because we have a different screen to manage it now, so we don't need an input player anymore. We do want an on done. So you call show on it, it knows it's showing. Actually, we don't care about that anymore. Just when you call dismiss on it, just do this. When you call dismiss on it, no, that's fine. Then it will just notify you when it's done. Okay. Story letter got smaller and simpler. Okay. We don't even have a dot show function anymore because when we instantiate it shows, so we'll do letter instance dot on done equals dismiss done. Okay. Private void dismiss done. We'll eventually do something here. Okay. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Let's go back here because this probably is not quite gonna compile because payload letter prefab. Okay, does this at least compile? It does. So then what we can do is we're gonna actually add, we're gonna add a new screen here. Story letter screen. This is gonna get this new script. Story letter screen. This one gets the handle to the letter right there. And for now, just to test things, we're gonna lighten the screen. Okay. Actually, Let's look at our UI prefabs. Base button, yeah. This was a basic button, so we're gonna add one to the new story letter screen. Let's go look at this. It's gonna get a button. And for now, I'm just going to have this button kind of exist on the screen somewhere. Like here. That's going to be this menu's start selected object. Okay. Okay. Now let's go back here to level set select. So it doesn't need a story letter handle anymore. It does need to know which one it wants to show. That's that one. Okay. And okay, now we gotta go to menu manager and give it a reference to our story letter screen. Okay. Story letter screen is off by default. Okay, let's see how busted this is. Come into here. Okay, a letter has popped up. How did the letter pop up? Because I don't see my story letter screen turning on. So where did this come from? Do I still have some rogue code down here? Let's take a look at this. Menu manager is aware of story letter screen. This is story letter screen. It should show. Oh. I know why. Because story letter screen is not being a good citizen. It needs to do base.show. And it needs to do base.hide. And I don't know if there's anything in these, but let's do them anyway. Base.onDid show. And base.onDid hide. And base.onBackPress, which I seriously doubt does anything. Okay. Now let's go make sure none of my profiles think they've seen the intro letter. Okay. 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 Brr, brr, brr. Look at this, I'm a new player. Nothing happened. Oh, okay, there we go. Look at this, I'm a new player. I'm in the... Look at this now. So I'm in the letter screen. I still have some junk here where I can navigate away from my button, which is not good. Let's assume I fixed that. And now if I press this button, nothing happens because I haven't hooked up an event to it. Cool. Back button did take me back somewhere, which is kind of interesting. Wonder why that even did anything. Okay, well, making some progress. Getting this to play nice with the rest of the system. So, pick this up tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. And we should be able to get this in the flow working properly, and then I can hook up also showing a letter when you unlock a new location. And we can make those variants, put some actual text in it, make the layout of the letter look a little better. That's what's coming up next. Alright. That's it for me today. See everyone tomorrow.